I'm bad at normal reaction, so I just watched it already. But I just wanted to make analyzing video about it, so let's just freaking go. First of all, the art style here is incredible, absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait until Ufotable finally gives us our Genshin animation. Because come on, man, come on. And also, at first I thought this was someone from the which is the Hexle Circle.
So.
Either Nicole
Life
or someone, because
abides
obviously
no
she's
reason, for none
visionary.
are born by their own consent.
And she knows way too much stuff. Also, the most important part here is, why the hell is life digital here? Considering what we have gone through in the HSR in the latest patch, I will not particularly spoil it, but my implication here is a spoiler in and of itself, so if you haven't played the latest HSR patch, well, you gotta be careful here. But why is life digital here, huh? What the hell?
Death abides no reason, for it cannot be defied, even by those who see it coming.
I'd love to see her coming.
Time abides no reason.
Also, Easteroth is the cutest girly pop ever.
Yet Brooks
She's just
a second
precious little thing.
Space abides
And of
no
course,
reason.
Heavenly principles. This is why I thought she was like a Nicole or someone. Right? She's obviously a visionary. I think Nicole was the visionary.
They stopped the golden-haired twin travelers and mercilessly tore them apart.
The freaking animation here of her burning up is just... And also the plume, right? I believe the plume implies, I think, one of the Hexle Circle witches. I think it was Nicole, right? She was a writer. And maybe a visionary as well. So that is another connection I tried making, but I'm not too good, so well versed in Hexle Circle girlies. Pronova, come on, you didn't have to kill that bird.
The beer... No. This
Rind
looks more like Rind daughter's doing. Please don't litter.
I also don't remember. Have we heard Rind daughter's voice before? I'm not sure that we have, so this might have been the first time. And I'm assuming this is not her true look, right? Because she looks exactly like Nibirius, and I'm imagining that it is just Nibirius's body and Nibirius's mind with the digital stuff, so we haven't quite seen Rind daughter yet.
Or other people's spaces with your bizarre creations.
Although she is beautiful. Whichever girly it is.
Unsurprisingly, all life here has been rendered unstable, tainted by the ruler of space. I have seen enough to know that repeating this experiment would be fruitless.
Just killed a soul like it's nothing.
You seem to wield my power as if it were nothing but a plaything for your amusement.
Because it kinda
Although
is.
merging with you has stripped me of agency, I shall still continue to voice my disapproval.
And also, merging with you kind of implies that Nibirius did it not necessarily out of... not because Rind daughter made her, or like when Rind daughter found the artifact that was supposedly Nibirius's heart, I still feel like it was a pact rather than a complete devouring or whatever, right? Because, like, again, merging implies that it was kind of mutually accepted, maybe?
My dear Rind daughter, you have my respect, Nibirius.
Also
Your
gold,
nagging
obviously.
is one of the only things that can get under my skin.
I'd love to get under her skin. Again, you see? Digital. Why is life all digital?
And you, Isteroth? Why did you bestow history upon them?
Girly pop. And so, I kinda caught it on the first time, but here I do think that Ronova is implying that the visionary stuff was just given by Easteroth to people. So not necessarily visionary by default, but it could potentially all be Easteros deals. Just all Visionaries, everyone that sees time in any irregular kind of way, that's all Easteros. Which would make sense, to be honest.
I had to find some way to pass the time, did I not?
Girl, you
After
control
all,
it, come on.
It's clear that Asmodee is not here.
And yeah, I do believe we haven't heard
Well, perhaps you could share your input a
the
little
name of
earlier next time.
Heavenly Principles. Now we know
But
that
you're
it's
right.
Asmodee.
There's no trace of Asmodee here. Where has she gone? Anyway, it's time I put this space out of its misery.
And all of this implies that each and every cube is a whole space creation by the, obviously, ruler of space. So, potentially, all of those could be their own universes. Not necessarily just a little plot of land with a tree on it, but like entire universes. And maybe that is exactly why, although it's also time connected, right? But I thought maybe that is exactly why when she split us apart as siblings, she could have sent us two different spaces. And then we merged them together in the recent patch of Genshin. Maybe. Also, tolls for free? Come on, man. In this economy?
These meetings are just a formality. Does it really matter that only 3 of us are here?
She's just so
I, for
soft,
one,
you know?
think that we should find her. Since the Heavenly Principles cast us as shades, not one of us has ever missed a meeting.
What if she just switched sides?
That is an insane thing to say,
Finding
to be
her would
honest.
do more harm than good.
Also, while we are on this shot, this kind of reminds me of the HSR's paths. You know, the swirly thing going into the center. Obviously, there are stairs here and stuff, but they are controlling the place and the space. So this could still be like an Eon's path, or like a part of Eon's path. And they are just so higher beings that they can exist within this space.
Now there's an interesting idea. Better than being devoured.
Just switched sides? You make it sound like such a trivial affair. We are shades, shadows of the Heavenly Principles. It's unthinkable. Unless she loves her new master more than her own self.
And obviously, who the hell is the new master? I highly doubt it's the sibling, right? It couldn't be. I don't think it's Sortology. He did say that he has nothing interesting on Teyvat. Or, I mean, there is nothing interesting for him on Teyvat. So that is obviously a massive lore drop and potential implication for what we might learn in Not Cry, especially related to the absence of Sustainer. Questions and questions, you know? Each and every goddamn time when we get these kinds of
Do you
videos,
know
we
that
get
you're
questions.
being watched?
By
Also,
whom?
this was freaking
Whose
insane.
gaze could pierce this far?
Piero! Just can straight up look at the gods. That is insane. He will seize authority from the gods, though, so, I mean,
I
understandable.
remember those eyes. It was just before I placed the curse of immortality.
She's so indifferent as well. Obviously, like, when you are at that level of a god, for her, that all just ends. Even Piero. Music, as always. Mihoyo is a music company. Making games and sometimes animations.
Ah, yes. He's an old acquaintance of mine.
That's
I'm sure that
pretty
working for
funny.
the Tsaritsas helped him let go of his past obsessions.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. And that is exactly why he was
Archon.
looking at the freaking
With her
gods.
paltry powers, she dares set her gaze. on the heavenly principles.
The heavenly principles have yet to awaken. If I were her, I wouldn't pass on that opportunity either. My dear
Here's
Rind
Naberius,
daughter,
like, shut the hell up.
you know,
Shut the hell up.
I cannot allow you to think that way.
Yeah. You can't speak to my daddy like that, you know, that kind of stuff. Or I guess about my daddy like that.
It was purely hypothetical, Naberius.
Sure, Rind
For
daughter.
lack of a direct order, I say it's time we intervened. Of course,
Then the
to
rules.
the extent permitted by the rules.
The rules. She's so freaking pretty, dude. Unreasonably pretty. And not cry. Give it to
The
me. Give it
gaze
to me.
of the gods
All
has
the gaze.
always been considered a blessing.
I freaking love his
Hence
voice
the
so much.
origin and meaning of visions. People have always yearned for the gaze of the gods.
Also, I am imagining all of these are the factions of Notcry, right? This would be the Fatui
Blessing.
and their whatever the hell this is.
Hence the origin
Probably
and
spaceship.
meaning.
Would these be... I don't think these are light keepers. At least it doesn't look like a lighthouse, right? So maybe that's just a region around the UFO or whatever it is.
Visions. People have always yearned for
These look maybe moon-related. The freaking moon science or whatever.
the gaze of the gods.
I'm very bad with names, as you can obviously
And
see.
yet,
This is freaking beautiful, and that's a freaking ship. A whale ship. Or at least like it looks like a whale, you know? I'm not even sure what this could be referencing out of the stuff that we already know. Maybe Hexen Circle by
it
some
is said
chance?
that when mortals look directly upon the gods, they invite their
That is, I still think that is a nail. I do believe it looks a lot like a nail. And I find it very curious that it's a broken nail while still shining brightly. So, like, it's not quite the same as the other ones we've seen.
wrath and
Not quite.
retribution. And what of it? Lives will be lost. A nation brought to
This is obviously Clank place.
ruins. So be it. It is nothing.
I'm not sure what this place is. This could be the Notcry itself, like the center city of Notcry. Looks like it might be, right?
I have not endured
Doesn't quite look like the
before.
UFO location.
I already know the price of gazing upon the gods. So tell me, what is the price of killing a god?
Killing the god.
God stays silent, as if the thought had never once crossed his mind. To all those who dare not look up to the heavens, Her Majesty the Tsaritsa says this. Behold, even the gods have their limits.
Also, ain't no way we're going to Celestia in Notcry, right? This is just, as usual, the teaser for what's to come. And the confirmation of the next Harbinger that we are about to meet.
Inspection over. Return to your posts.
Damselet?
Make sure the Frostmoon Scions don't pose a threat.
Frostmoon Science.
Per the Pale Star Edict, we are to retrieve the damselette from Nod Cry, whatever it takes.
Also, she is digitally bugging out here, right? Which to me kind of implies relation to Naberius in some way. She obviously looks like an angel of some sort, so most likely related to moons, which are not quite shades, but could be in some way related. And so potentially she will point us to Naberius, maybe get some connections to Naberius. and that would in turn be a connection to Rind through Hex and Circle, who are meant to be in Notcry as well. So obviously, oh yeah, it's all coming together. Absolutely insane lore drop. Like, our worlds have changed, but Mihoyo, it was just a Wednesday. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. And on that, I wish you adieu, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.